I think I'm going to love it here.
Jenna Ortega is an American actress, a rising superstar of the new generation who is widely known for her role as the main character in the popular series Wednesday. She literally blew up social media with her incredible goth dance, winning the hearts of millions of subscribers overnight. We dedicate this video to this talented and fearless girl who got everyone talking. Wednesday Addams, how Jenna Ortega lives and how much she earns. Jenna Marie Ortega was born on September 27, 2002 in the California resort town of La Quinta on the Coachella Valley to the family of a successful businessman of Mexican descent and a nurse with Puerto Rican roots. Natalie and Edward Ortega got married at a very young age and immediately decided that their family would be big and close-knit. And their wish came true. 6 charming children soon cropped up one after the other. Mariah, Isaac, Mia, Jenna, Alaya, and Marcus grew up surrounded by love, attention, and a healthy family atmosphere. Because of such a pleasant family dynamic, Jenna's talent manifested itself at an early age. By 6, the girl knew that she would become an actress and nothing else. She was greatly impressed by the film Man on Fire starring Denzel Washington. Dakota Fanning, who played the main character's daughter in this thriller, shocked little Jenna. Her mother, in turn, showed consideration for this impulse and recorded a video with her daughter, which she then posted on Facebook. Word of mouth brought the news of the artistic girl to a casting agent, and he immediately contacted the Ortegas. At the same time, the expert did not immediately promise them mountains of gold, offering to start acting in a commercial. So Jenna first appeared on screens in an advertisement for Colgate toothpaste, talking about the importance of oral hygiene in a relaxed manner. She also appeared in TV commercials for McDonald's and Burger King. After 2 years of auditions, the first offers for film and television roles finally started to come in. Jenna's debut was working in episodes of the TV series Rob with Rob Schneider as the lead, CSI NY, and Days of Our Lives. In 2013, came more experiences as she starred in feature films, including James Wan's Insidious Chapter 2 and the superhero movie Iron Man 3. In the latter, Ortega played a small role as the vice president's daughter, but it was a confident step into the future. Then, the young actress starred in the miniseries Dead Time Stories, the family comedies The Little Rascals Save the Day, and The Cookie Mobster, the series Rake, Know-It-All Nina, and several others, and voiced the animated series Over the Garden Wall. But her first major role was in the television series Jane the Virgin, where Ortega played the main character as a child.
Bien. Ahora haz que se vea como nueva otra vez. Vamos, anda, trata.
I can't.
Así es. Nunca puedes volver atrás, y eso es lo que sucede cuando pierdes tu virginidad.
In 2015, Jenna starred in the TV series Richie Rich, where she got the role of the main character's girlfriend. And even though critics pulled the Netflix creation to pieces, from that moment, lead roles were now within her grasp. Next, the young actress appeared in the massively mixed-up middle school mystery, and afterwards, but another project made many critics look attentively at this petite brunette. For 2 years, she acted in the comedy series Stuck in the Middle as the main lead. It is noteworthy that the Disney Film Company seems to have chosen its script specifically for Jenna. The thing is that Harley Diaz, whose story we follow, comes from a big family, and as the title states, Diaz finds herself stuck in the middle as the middle child. Jenna, just like her character, was born into a large family and is the middle child. Interestingly, this series predicted the future role for the actress when her heroine said,
If my family was a week, I'd be Wednesday.
We must say that the producer's bid turned out to be successful, and Ortega received her first win at the prestigious Imagine Awards, which celebrates the positive image of Latinos in the entertainment industry. In addition, her work was highly appreciated by Disney professionals, and in 2016, she received an offer to voice one of the main characters of the animated film Elena of Avalor. The role of Princess Isabel brought her not only several awards and nominations, but also a lot of young fans. Success with this audience was consolidated in 2017 when Jenna was invited to the star in the music video Chapstick by popular American blogger and singer Jacob Sartorius. Besides the video being very emotional, tender, and cute, it received considerable support in the media and gained great popularity. At the same time, rumors about the relationship between Jenna and Jacob were gaining traction among the public. It is unknown for certain whether this relationship was reality or fiction made up by PR people. On the list of the young talent's potential boyfriends were actors Isaac Presley and Asher Angel. Nevertheless, the girl herself denied all the relationships attributed to her so far. In general, she guards her personal life zealously and asks her fans to be understanding of that. In 2018, the film Saving Flora with Jenna in the lead role was released.
Bend down, Flora. Come on, girl. There you go.
Oh.
It's a little rocky, so move around.
In the center of the plot is an old circus elephant, which they plan to get rid of because she can no longer perform in front of the public. Then the resourceful daughter of the circus director played by Ortega decides to save her pet and goes on a long journey with her. The following year, the actress starred in the psychological thriller TV series You.
Can you believe she put that spy software on my phone?
Shit.
You sure it was her?
Who else would it be?
So you're not gonna tell her you know?
Obviously not. It's way more useful if she thinks it's still working.
This is what I get for trying to out-tech a teenager.
Her character appeared only in the second season and was an annoying, sometimes strangely behaving girl, Ellie. In 2020, Jenna took part in the comedy horror film The Babysitter Killer Queen. Having played one of the main roles, the shooting was a big source of stress for the young actress. When she joined the team, everyone was already well acquainted with each other and she had to overcome awkwardness and panic attacks. In the same year, the miniseries home movie The Princess Bride was released, which was filmed by the actors on their smartphones during the lockdown. In addition, Jenna was noted for her work in the animated science fiction series Jurassic World, Camp Cretaceous, voicing a character named Brooklyn. In 2021, 2 films were released. Yes Day, in which such masters as Jennifer Garner and Edgar Ramirez became Jenna's partner on set, and the movie that discusses the pressing problem of shootings, The Fallout. The plot takes the viewer through a normal day of an ordinary 16-year-old schoolgirl, Vada, brilliantly played by Ortega.
I just said you don't even need to wear makeup. What was that? Was that a gun?
The girl manages to hide in the toilet while there is a shooting on the school premises. She can only hear what's happening. The aspiring director Megan Park managed to not just film a drama about a sensitive topic, but also to show the psychological side of the tragedy. The crime itself takes up relatively little screen time, while the open question of how can a child cope with the horror they experienced takes focus. The film makes you think about the topic of post-traumatic stress syndrome, which isn't fully discussed in society. The filmmakers masterfully bring to fore the horror of the fact that even after huge amounts of stress like that, the world still goes on. As for Jenna, the movie showed her not only as a serious dramatic actress, but also made her look like a sensitive person. All because she had a similar experience in her life. According to her, she faced this threat in elementary school. Back then, the children were sitting in the classroom with the teacher and, in a state of shock, could only ask one thing: is this really happening? At the beginning of 2022, horror fans were not only pleased with the return of the legendary film Scream, but also Ortega's excellent work in it.
Hello? Bonus question, Tara.
Please stop!
Do you think I made it inside your house before you could rearm?
She received a prize from the MTV Movie and TV Awards for Best Scream. The viewers had clearly longed for a high-quality slasher movie, which was reflected at the box office. With a budget of $24 million, the horror movie collected $140 million worldwide. In response to that, the filmmakers immediately announced the launch of the 6th part, which is scheduled for release in the spring of 2023. Jenna Ortega will reappear as high school student Tara Carpenter and will continue to escape from the chilling ghost face. This time, the film will take place in New York instead of Woodsboro, which should add even more dynamics and colors to the plot. Jenna is so convincing in these roles that in March 2022, another horror film with her participation was released. The American-Canadian film X, in which the actress played a lead role, was positively received by both critics and the audience, winning its fan pool. Although the film's success apparently wasn't enough for a sequel, in July another film with the actress was released. American Carnage by the master of the genre Diego Halavis revealed to the world a non-trivial plot in which harmless at first glance, elderly people become monsters.
Hey, she were into girls, I'd try to hit that too.
Oh, yeah?
Then again, maybe I could change your mind about that. Oh, relax, bro. I'm not gonna stand in your way.
In November 2022, Tim Burton's new project Wednesday made headlines.
Since you've abandoned me here, I've been hunted, haunted, and the target of an attempted murder.
Nevermore, I love you so.
The first season of the series showed the most successful start in the history of English-language Netflix shows. In the first week, the number of streams was 341.2 million. The role of Wednesday Addams was not easy for Jenna. Tim auditioned hundreds of applicants for the role and approved the actress only after she was able to show her remarkable acting talent. By the way, it happened remotely because the actress was filming in New Zealand. To the online edition, the girl came in the image she was shooting in, with a huge cut, glycerin sweat on her face, and fake blood on her hair. It was very important to the director that the main lead was similar to the actresses of silent films and could express strong emotions with just her eyes. On the set, he demanded that the girl behave as if she were a mannequin and harassed the makeup artist by checking the heroine's perfect pigtails almost with a ruler. Sometimes he lost his temper if the hair, in his opinion, didn't lie flat enough. Then he would take away the comb and make her image perfect himself. But Ortega wasn't born yesterday. She fearlessly entered arguments with the master about the role. Even mature Catherine Zeta-Jones, who played Morticia Addams, was amazed at the persistence and moral courage of the young actress. Jenna refused to use body doubles and for the role, learned to fence, shoot arrows, and play the cello. And she also came up with her heroine's main shticks, not blinking and the dance in the 4th episode. The actress choreographed it herself. The result can be safely compared with the effect of an exploding bomb. A strange set of movements coupled with the eye acting instantly made the scene iconic. The song that young Addams danced to was called Goo Goo Muck and by the rock band The Cramps. It is noteworthy that downloads of this track on the popular Shazam platform soared by as much as 8,000% after the series' release. Lady Gaga's song Bloody Mary was also lumped with the general hype. TikTok users started posting their version of the dances using the song. In early December, the singer herself joined the viral trend by shooting a video inspired by the film. Jenna herself reaped decent benefits from her legendary dance. In just 10 days, the number of her Instagram followers soared by 10 million, and by December it exceeded 20 million, and Jenna won't stop there. In 2023, the comedy melodrama Miller's Girl will be released, in which Jenna plays opposite Martin Freeman. It will be followed by the film Finest Kind, which gave the actress an opportunity to work with such an unsurpassed professional as Tommy Lee Jones. And again, it will be a thriller. Just a glance on Jenna's filmography will show that she feels a special type of love for this dark genre. The actress admits that she is fascinated by the dark world of thrillers and horrors. She explains this by the fact that she is attracted to repulsive things and events that, on closer inspection, turn out to be something completely different. And shooting in bloody horror movies helped her overcome being a scaredy cat. One day she revealed her little secret to the press, saying that as a child, she dissected dead animals that she found in the backyard of her house. By the way, Jenna continues to live in the same house and has not yet acquired her own villa on the beach or a fashionable penthouse in New York. But her whole life is ahead of her, and as of now, the girl has accumulated $3 million in her account. Given the huge hype accompanying the release of Wednesday, we can expect that the payouts of the rising star will increase. The actress's current rates are not disclosed, but it is known that the leading actors in such Netflix projects receive an average of $40,000 per episode. In case of demand for the series, they can increase up to $300,000. Income is generated not only by filming movies and TV series, but also by advertising contracts. One of them came to Jenna thanks to her diligence. From the age of 14, she kept a diary where she wrote down the advice of makeup artists and hairdressers who worked with her. The records concerning the skin and hair health got the marketers of the cosmetic company Neutrogena very interested and served as a reason for their long-term cooperation. In addition, this experience prompted the young star to try herself in a larger project. In 2021, Jenna made a name for herself as an aspiring writer. Her book titled It's All Love is already selling like hotcakes. The work is basically a selection of inspiring excerpts from the actress's life, which are presented simply and positively. The book's leitmotif is, for every downfall in life, there's a rise, and there is always an opportunity to change the reality for the better. Fans are amazed and delighted by the fact that she wrote it as a 17-year-old teenager. In 2018, the girl shared on Instagram the happy news that she received a driver's license. Then she said that all she needed was a car. But now, Jenna has her own small car park. It includes the legendary German Audi Q3 crossover in black. And there are also reports that Ortega owns a BMW M235i, the price of which averages $45,000. In addition to filming, Jenna turned her attention to acute social problems. In particular, Jenna is an ambassador of UNAIDS, the UN program to combat the spread of HIV. In addition, she protects people from discrimination based on nationality and supports children with cancer. Jenna Ortega is a rising star who is extremely interesting to watch and who undoubtedly has a great future ahead of her. She is lively, talented, and promising. However, due to the rapid rise of her career, the girl was deprived of a regular childhood and school shenanigans. Now, Jenna is very regretful that neither the prom nor the turbulence of adolescence happened to her. This is the price for popularity and success. But at the same time, she hopes that she can direct the unspent energy and emotions into creativity. In her youth, Jenna dreamed of becoming the first female president or astronaut. Perhaps one of these wishes will come true soon, albeit in movies. And have you already watched Wednesday?
I think you could have held on the last image a little bit longer.
That's what I was thinking.
Keanu Reeves, how Hollywood's most wholesome guy lives and how he spends his millions. Keanu Charles Reeves was born in Beirut, Lebanon on September 2, 1964, in the family of an English woman, Patricia Bond, and an American, Samuel Reeves, who had a wild cocktail of Portuguese, Chinese, and Hawaiian blood. By the way, Keanu got his unusual name in tribute to the origin of his dad. Translated from Hawaiian, it means cool mountain wind. At the time of the meeting in 1960, Patricia was working as a dancer and Sam was doing odd jobs, including some shady ones. The man didn't have a decent education. He even received a school certificate in prison while serving time for drug trafficking. Over time, he managed to get a job as a geologist. The young family's life was hectic, with constant moving, and 2 years after the birth of their son, they found themselves in Sydney, Australia. Their youngest daughter, Kim, was born here in 1966. Soon, the father of the family left Patricia and the children. Keanu was so frustrated and resentful that even as he grew older, he did not resume contact with his dad, cutting off all his attempts at bonding. After Australia, the Reeves family moved first to New York, where Patricia became a successful costume designer before settling in Toronto, Canada. She married 3 more times, gave birth to a daughter, Karina Miller, from her third husband, but all her marriages inevitably collapsed. Studying was not easy for Keanu, as the boy was diagnosed with dyslexia, which they tried to fight with the help of speech therapists and psychologists. But the disorder is called genius disease for a reason. Reeves read a lot of books, including all of Proust, thanks to which he cultivated perseverance, diligence, and trained his memory close to a phenomenal level. Besides, he was an excellent chess player, and as a child, beat some adults earning $1 for a win. Keanu still loves to read newspapers with chess puzzles on the pages. And what Canadian boy doesn't play backyard hockey? Reeves was noticed by a local coach and invited to one of the schools. In his childhood team, he was a goalkeeper, but according to his teammates, he didn't have the physique necessary for this role and compensated for this with amazing agility and jumping ability, for which he received the nickname The Wall. By the way, he is still in the International Hockey Player Database and enjoys playing for himself and rooting for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Apart from sports, Keanu attended drama club. After an injury, Keanu had to give up on a great future in hockey, so he concentrated on his second hobby. At the age of 9, he first tried acting. He played in the musical comedy Damn Yankees, and at the age of 15, he appeared on stage as the Shakespeare's Mercutio. At the age of 17, the guy dropped out of school and left home for his girlfriend named Pat. He never received the certificate. Keanu had to pay for his free life by doing any part-time job, including mowing lawns in other people's lawns and cooking spaghetti in Italian cafes. In 1983, the young man appeared in a Coca-Cola commercial as a cyclist. Reeves still remembers that shoot with warmth and laughter, because they had to shoot in winter, pretending that they were languishing from the heat. After that, he appeared in many more Nave commercials, including advertising for Canon cameras and Japanese whiskey Suntory. At the same time, Keanu took part in small TV series and short films, and his first notable role was in the film Youngblood, where he played the goalkeeper of a hockey team and received a fee of $3,000. After the film was released in 1986, Keanu, with the help of his first stepfather, Broadway director Paul Aaron, received an American green card and moved to Los Angeles. There, he got an agent, and on his advice, used his pseudonym for the first time, because he considered the name Keanu too exotic. Therefore, in some films, he appeared as Norman Reeves and Chuck Spadina in honor of one of the streets in Toronto. The end of the 80s was the time for a good start in the big movie for Keanu. In 1988, he appeared in such films as Dangerous Liaisons, The Night Before, Permanent Record, and The Prince of Pennsylvania. Then he played in Parenthood, Life Underwater, and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and then in the TV series of the same name and in its sequel. After the movies I Love You to Death, Tune In Tomorrow, My Own Private Idaho, the premiere of the action movie Point Break became a real breakthrough. Patrick Swayze was his partner on the set, but Keanu was so good on his role that he got the MTV Movie Award for Most Desirable Male.
You mad? Yeah, I'm mad! Good and mad! Yeah! What do you want to do about it? It feels good, doesn't it? Like you're still alive, right? Yeah! Well, since you're still alive, and you're not in the box just yet, why don't you tell me this theory of yours and we'll go get these guys?
The role in Bram Stoker's Dracula, which was released in 1992, was also a great success. Interestingly enough, Reeves and Winona Ryder's characters were married by a real Romanian priest, and now it is their favorite subject for jokes to call themselves legally husband and wife. In 1993, even Cowgirls Get the Blues, Much Ado About Nothing, and the colorful philosophical drama Little Buddha were released on the screens. For the main role, Keanu had to lose a lot of weight, sitting on a strict diet of oranges and water. The reaction of the audience and critics was polarized. Some were delighted, while others couldn't figure out who the film was made for and criticized the actor's performance. A short but apt review of the film came from the Dalai Lama himself, who offered modest praise but remarked that Buddha could not be small, pointing to the film's title.
I've never seen it. I've not even seen my own city. I must see the world, Yashodhara, with my own eyes.
The very next year, the actor broke into the world of A-list celebrities after his role in the movie Point Break. The director of the action movie Speed couldn't imagine anyone else for this role aside from Keanu. The film was a huge success, and his partner was Sandra Bullock, with whom Keanu is still good friends. Although it was rumored that there was a fleeting romance between the performers of the main roles, Reeves received a fee of $1 million for this role.
Shot me. I can't believe it. I'm giving you a medal for shooting me, you little prick.
Harry, you told me to.
Member of the Los Angeles Police Department.
When the film was released, work on Johnny Mnemonic was actually finished. However, the Sony officials, seeing the success of Speed, demanded a reshoot of many of the scenes in order to add fights and shootings. Initially, the movie was supposed to be an atmospheric fantasy film with noir and cyberpunk vibes.
Must have been pretty good at memorizing, huh?
Implant. Wet-wired. I had to dump a chunk of long-term memory.
You had to dump a chunk of what?
My childhood.
Your childhood.
The actor's next works were A Walk in the Clouds, Chain Reaction, Feeling Minnesota, and The Last Time I Committed Suicide. The pearl of Keanu's filmography is rightfully considered the mystical thriller The Devil's Advocate, released in 1997.
What are you?
Oh! I have so many names.
See.
Call me Dad.
In order to participate in the filming, he had to refuse the offer of a role in the sequel of Speed, as well as part of his fee, which amounted to $8 million, to ensure Al Pacino's participation in the project. 2 years later, the world was shocked by the release of the cult sci-fi thriller The Matrix. The preparation for the shooting was tremendous. The actors trained for several months, and just before the start of practice, Keanu injured his cervical vertebrae, which further inconvenienced him. He had to wear a special bandage for several days, and he had to make another sacrifice for the scene of Neo's awakening in the capsule. The actor lost almost 15 pounds and shaved his whole body, including eyebrows.
Wow, that sounds like a really good deal. But I think I got a better one. How about I give you the finger, and you give me my phone call?
In the early 2000s, after The Matrix, the public expected something extraordinary from the actor, but what followed was a series of quite average films. Among them are The Replacement with a fee of $12.5 million, Hardball, The Gift, and The Watcher, in which Keanu didn't even want to participate. However, his insidious agent forged his signature on the contract, and Reeves reasoned that it was easier to act in the film than to butt heads with the traitor in court. In 2001, the melodrama Sweet November was released, which was not a huge hit, but it was very important for Keanu, who had suffered a personal tragedy and really wanted to vent his feelings on the screen.
What do you do, by the way?
I'm in advertising.
Advertising. So you enjoy it?
People tend to enjoy what they're really good at.
This was almost the only time when Keanu himself was chasing the director, persuading him to give him the lead role. The fact is that in 1998, at one of the parties, he met his sister's friend Jennifer Syme. The passion blossomed, and Reeves, who had convinced everyone that he was a hardened bachelor, bonded with the girl with all his soul. They even decided to become parents, but a week before the birth, the baby girl, whom they decided to name Ava Archer, suffered a cardiac arrest. The actor withdrew into himself, and his lover decided to fight the grief with alcohol. That's what eventually led to her death. In April 2001, Syme died in a car accident while returning from a drunken party. After these tragic events, the actor could not dare to have a serious relationship for a long time, limiting himself to short-term romances or friendships with women. After he survived this series of misfortunes, Keanu took a new job. In 2003, the drama Something's Gotta Give was released, as well as 2 sequels of The Matrix, At Once Reloaded and Revolutions, which followed the story of the war between people and machines.
If you tell me we'll make it, I'll believe you.
We'll make it. We have to.
The films grossed a very decent figure at the box office, exceeding $1 billion, and Keanu received 15% of that in addition to his $30 million fee for both movies. However, he took a risk during production by turning down $38 million to have the money invested in creating costumes and special effects. As time has shown, this investment has more than paid off. After that, Keanu had a forced break from work because his sister Kim was diagnosed with advanced leukemia. The girl received this devastating diagnosis back in 1993, but for many years, she managed to keep the disease under control. In order to help her, Reeves stopped all activities and went to the Swiss city of Montreux, where he stayed with his sister constantly. Fortunately, the disease was defeated, and now Keanu is an active participant in charity events aimed at fighting cancer. Release of the superhero action movie Constantine, based on the mystical comic book Hellblazer, took place only 2 years later.
This is Constantine. John Constantine. Asshole.
The film didn't collect awards and a lot of money, pleasing only loyal fans of Keanu. However, the movie has a chance for revenge. The Warner Bros. Film Company announced the production of a sequel in September 2022. In the same period, the movies Thumbsucker, Ellie Parker, A Scanner Darkly, The Lake House, and Street Kings were released. The 2008 movie The Day the Earth Stood Still became special for Keanu because, unlike other works, no one competed with him in casting. The producer of the film, Erwin Stoff, couldn't imagine anyone else in the role of the alien Klaatu. The filming turned out to be very exciting for the actor. He improvised a lot and even added a few lines to the script. Perhaps this practice served as a starting point for his future directorial career. In 2013, he directed the film of Man of Tai Chi, where he also starred. At the same time, Reeves kept starring in movies by other directors. He has appeared in such films as The Private Lives of Pippa Lee, Henry's Crime, Generation and 47 Ronin. The next cinematic masterpiece in which Keanu starred was loved by both the public and critics. For the role of a retired assassin, he even received a rare positive Golden Raspberry for restoring the actor's reputation, Razzie Redeemer Award. The action movie John Wick served as the birth of a media franchise, which included films and television series, comics, soundtracks, and computer games. The 4th movie is about to be released, and the 5th one has been announced.
Always complain.
Always complain. You, working again?
No, just sorting some stuff out.
In the following years, the actor starred in the films Knock Knock, The Whole Truth, Exposed, The Neon Demon, The Bad Batch, Replicas, To the Bone, Siberia, Destination Wedding, Always Be My Maybe, Between Two Ferns, the movie, and Bill and Ted Face the Music. There is also quite a unique film in Keanu's filmography. This is a crime comedy, Keanu, which tells a story about the adventures of two friends saving their kitten. The name and voice of the kitten are Reeves, and by the way, this is not the only time when the actor voiced characters. For example, in Toy Story 4, he voiced Duke Kaboom. The year 2021 saw the release of the Wachowski sisters movie, The Matrix Resurrections,
I felt either I'm having a mental breakdown again, or I'm living inside a computer-generated reality that has imprisoned me again.
And a year earlier, to the delight of gamers, Cyberpunk 2077 was released. It was a video game created by Polish developers based on a tabletop game published in 1988. Keanu played one of the main characters in the game and appeared in a fast-paced promo video.
Test of a person's true value? Death. Facing it, staring it down. You still got a chance to be somebody.
Keanu is one of the richest actors in Hollywood. His fortune is estimated at $380 million, while the ratio of his one-time fee to the total amount of his earnings is a historical record that no one has been able to break since 2003. Reeves is happy to spend his money on gifts, so almost the entire crew of the first Matrix was lucky enough to fall under his good graces. After filming ended, Keanu reportedly gave away $75 million, making costume and special effects artists millionaires overnight. After filming Reloaded, Keanu gave each of the stuntmen a Harley. For quite a while, he didn't even care about his living conditions and considered it normal to just rent an apartment or a hotel room. Keanu got a permanent home only in 2003, but he chose a very impressive villa he built back in 1988 in the Hollywood Hills in Los Angeles, costing nearly $5 million. The property is spread over an area of an acre and consists of a house made in constructivist style, a garage, a pond with decorative fish, and a long swimming pool. Keanu is known to create the interiors of his home with his own hands. He chose the finishing materials, selected the furniture, textiles, and decorations himself. At the same time, Reeves didn't build any fences, hedges, and he even used to keep his doors open. As for the cars, Keanu is an avid Porsche fan. He has a beautiful Carrera 4S in his garage. As a child, according to rumors, Keanu couldn't choose between a career as a nuclear physicist and a car racer. It is safe to say that he has fully realized his passion for speed and roaring engines. And if Porsche is just a passion for him, motorcycles can be called his true love. When he was 22, a pretty girl driving a Kawasaki Enduro caught his eye. Keanu borrowed a bike from her and asked her to teach him how to ride it. Since then, there have been many bikes in his life, including Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Harley. In 2011, all this resulted in the creation of his own brand. The Arch Motorcycle Custom Bike Company is run by just two people, Keanu Reeves and mechanic Gard Hollinger. All in all, the actor can easily travel by public transport as well. He can often be seen among subway passengers, and some even witnessed his gentlemanly behavior. Keanu also dresses quite simply and only as he feels comfortable. These are mostly stretch jeans, t-shirts, dark-colored jackets, and heavy boots. He might even show up to a prestigious award in his old sneakers. However, in 2019, Reeves became the face of the St. Laurent fashion house, thanks to which fans were able to appreciate the coolest style of their favorite actor. Stunning black and white photos in which Keanu is dressed in strict trousers, shirts with a tie, and daring leather jackets were as much anticipated as his next movies. By his own admission, Reeves has now entered his most enjoyable age. He finally had a life partner with whom he began to appear in public in 2019. Keanu and the artist Alexandra Grant were friends for a long time. She even helped the actor to publish his book called Ode to Happiness. So far, the couple doesn't comment on a possible wedding, but the available photos are full of mutual affection. Keanu admits that he has become quite wise, calm, and emotionally fulfilled. He wakes up in the morning with ease and does only what he wants to do. He can go for a run or play his beloved basketball, or he can stay home and cook something delicious with his friends all day and drink Bordeaux. He may have a nice glass of whiskey with a big ice cube when he's not occupied with work. He prefers moderation in food, making sure not to overeat. His diet includes chicken, vegetables, and rice, but sometimes Keanu enjoys eating steak or pizza. Potato chips and Coke are not forbidden either. Keanu's signature dish is Belgian waffles with butter and maple syrup. The actor calls this combination of proper diet and the occasional forbidden food the recipe of his youth. Sometimes his reservedness and private nature is perceived by people as a manifestation of some kind of emotional suffering. Thus, on June 15, 2010, the photo of Keanu taken by a photographer from one of the tabloids spread around the world. It shows Reeves sitting on a bench with a sandwich, embodying universal melancholy and hopelessness. The photo made a lot of noise. Many people were seriously worried that there was something wrong with the celebrity. This reaction shocked the actor. It turns out he was just thinking to himself and was hungry. However, this didn't stop witty fans from creating a couple hundred memes in which thoughtful Reeves sits in the company of a variety of characters, from Stalin and Churchill to kittens and skyscraper builders in New York. They even decided to establish the Cheer Up Keanu Day, which, thanks to one publication, is now celebrated every June 15. The actor himself was happy to insert an illustration with a reference to this day in his comic book, Berserker. By the way, the comic book, where the main character is based on Keanu himself, after the release in 2021, was so popular with readers that the company Netflix is making an anime series and a feature film based on it. Perhaps one day we will see Keanu Reeves on the Broadway stage, because he has a dream of playing in a musical. Why not? After all, he is not only an actor, but also a musician. In the 90s, he played bass guitar in the band Dogstar, and then he was a member of the grunge band Becky. Keanu is a star of incredible magnitude, a talented and bright actor, but in contrast to many of his colleagues, he is not arrogant. He is relatable and perceived by everyone as a guy next door. When he gets tired, he likes to drink hot tea with lemon and honey, and when he needs to stop and think, he sits down on a bench in the park and stares into the distance, not noticing anything around him. Unfortunately, life sometimes presents unpleasant surprises and trials that we all have to go through. At such moments, he says, "Don't let fear get a hold of you. Be afraid, but don't give up." Do you agree with Keanu?
A bit. But let's say it was my real grave. What would you write? Here lies Johnny Silverhand.
If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything interesting.